Welcome back to Give It Toll Reads. I hope you're doing well. It is time for my weekly wrap up. So let's first and foremost talk about books I read last week because I have a lot to talk about. So it's amazing when you're not publishing 13, 14 videos a week that you can actually get a lot of reading done. And I felt like I have got a lot of reading done this week. I finished The Anubis Stone by Josh L. Dean. I finished Rising Sun by Michael Crichton, my third time through this book. I don't think I'll read it again, by the way, either. I also read 3 short stories. I read A Cabin on the Coast by Gene Wolfe in this fantasy, modern classics of fantasy collection. I read my first Lou Archer tale. I read Find the Woman, the first pinnacle story in the Lou Archer files. And I read Sentiment Incorporated on my Kindle. It is a short story from Pal Anderson. It was a great short story reading week as well as a book reading week, but because I also read about 190 pages of The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm actually reading it on my Kindle now, but just for kind of perspective here, I'm on chapter 21, The Island of Tibuline, and I'm on page 201. And that's 200 pages in right there, that little bitty dent, because about 1/6 of the way through the book. The book's about 1,200 pages. So, but I will say, The Count of Monte Cristo, holy cow, so good. So good. Yeah, I'm blown away. And I'm going to make a quick confession here. I rented the most recent Count of Monte Cristo movie. It's in French, and I got the subtitles, watched it last night. I don't normally watch a lot of stuff. Surprisingly, I haven't watched any of the Masters coverage or anything like that, nor do I care. But I watched that movie last night, and wow, it was a great movie to begin with. Noticed some subtle changes between the book and the movie in that regard, especially from what I've read so far. Obviously, I've seen the one with Jim. Anyways, you know who I'm talking about. And so I've seen both accounts of that. I haven't seen the old school one. That's probably my next kind of foray is trying to find some of the old school movies on the Count of Monte Cristo. But this book, oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. Obviously, there's a long way to go. 1,000 pages left. There's quite a tale still to be told, but wow, we are on really nice pace here. Like, really high score pace. So far, like, really maybe favorite book pace ever. Yeah, but I digress. Let's talk videos last week. So I did 7. A little on the heavier side. I had a couple book hauls last week, and I just decided, I was going to do shelf tour. So I got part 1 out. So 2 book hauls. I did the book review of The Sword of Kaigan. I did duology book review of both Axe from the 87th Precinct series and Mustang Man, which is book number 13 in the second series. And I did part 1 of the shelf tour of my home library. And I did Saturday Shorts. So 7 videos last week. So pretty busy. A little more than I want to be doing. But I do have some things that I'm wanting to also do content-wise. And so as long as I can keep it no more than 7, I think I'm going to be okay. I did have one more person do the reading ticks tag this week. So I'm up to 39 people doing that. So it's been a great week in terms of videos. In regards to the BookTube community, another great week. I had a lot of comments, many people chiming in, many regulars, some new people. So it was a really good week. Some of the people that made comments, Richard Adcock 5450, Books with Blake, Lynn's 12, Some Other Character, Bing Lamb, Odd Audie Online, Faceless, Adventures in Literature, Jeff Lugal, Pulp Mortem, Professor X, McNulty Book Corral, Caleb Welch, Xanadu Castle, Royd Rage 360, Secret Fire Books, Debbie Hendricks 9920. Mystery and Mayhem, Twice Born by Grace, Booked Panda, Josh Dean 5449, Brian MR Pronic 1, Fainer 27, The Vintage Paperback Reader, Stephen Everett 7, Book Reviews with Becky, Lou G, Marcelia Muses, my mom, Kelly Reads a Lot, Ginger Bibliophile, Just Dawn 6288, Tina Bowerly 2794, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. Jack Yo, Jessica's Library Card, Beyond Books, Searching Stuff 723, Novel Insights, Storm Reads, CG Rated Books, Dalby Books, Melissa Says Hi, Steve Bollahan, Bo Lyson 5765, Dr. Cranky Pants Reads, what's up, Nick? Rowdy Player 1, Jeff Bowman 1225, Reed Becca, Cole Norden, Ted Redenstead, Toodleskay, and Readers Ramble. It's been a busy week in terms of the community, lots of comments, lots of fun stuff, which is a nice segue into comment of the week because, wow. So if you haven't watched, I think it was book haul 34, I believe, because I put 35 out and I kind of did it ahead, and so it was out of order, but I think it's book haul 34. Well, I thought, hey, sometimes for some people, it's probably just boring hearing me talk and the chair clinking as I'm going through and picking up books, and like maybe I'll put some background music in. I'll check the volume, turn it down, just pick some relaxing kind of just stuff and I'll play it in the background, a couple different pieces while I'm doing a book haul. And yeah, I thought it was going to create some kind of, make it a little more, I don't know, elevator music in the background. And it just did not go over well. Even my mom was like, yeah, no. So I figured it'd be nice comment of the week. There were some interesting comments. I'm just going to showcase them here because there were some good ones. Odd Audio Online had a funny comment, kind of playing about it. Faceless, obviously, he took full advantage of, poking fun at me as he does mercilessly. Kelly Reads a Lot. She also commented. I thought that was pretty funny. And then Royd Rage 360, he had a pretty good one too. Like, it's not broke, don't fix it, Yeah, it's hard to argue that. And so, it's a lesson learned. I tried some different things here, and if it doesn't work, you'll tell me, and I'll move on. No big deal. But I just thought it was funny to showcase some of those comments for comment of the week. Yeah, you live and you learn. And so, moving ahead, let's talk about BookTuber Spotlight this week. I have two channels I wanted to spotlight this week, and the first is Joseph Reads Books. Joseph, who I continually get his first name wrong, but Joseph has a great channel, very creative. I really like the quality of his videos. He reads a lot of genres that are similar to mine. He likes fantasy, sci-fi, he likes crime noir, some older stuff, and he is the one who got me into reading John MacDonald and the Travis McGee series, which I've read book 1 and really enjoyed MacDonald's writing. Those guys, Block, MacDonald, McBain, Stark, Ross MacDonald, there's just a plethora, Chandler, there's a plethora of these older crime noir mystery that just really fit, and he reads some of those as well. And I have to give him credit because he's the one, again, that got me into reading Travis McGee. You should check out his channel. He's really, really good. He has a really great way of doing his videos. I really like the recent one he did about reading, I think it was Frederick Brown, and kind of why you should read. And I thought that was great. Definitely higher quality than some of the why you should read stuff that I do on authors. But yeah, check him out. And then next one is Book Zealots, a mother and son kind of dual channel. Really good stuff. She was recently on there in a video talking about her son, whose name is Prometheus. He recently got a calculus award in college. I thought that was really interesting. And I believe they just recently hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. They do hauls, reviews, different book tags, many different genres they read. Definitely very intelligent people, and you can tell that in their reviews and some of the books they read. And so definitely worth checking out. And so let's talk about upcoming reading videos, what's in the works for me. And so this particular week, obviously, I'm going to be continuing on making headway in The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I'm going to move on and read the 14th book in the Sackett series. This is the second book for April in our Wagon Train read-along. It is Galloway from Louis L'Amour. It should be a very quick read. Definitely going to put that on the list. Maybe something I even get finished tomorrow. And then Professor X should be really happy. I'm going to dive in this week to Demolition Angel by Robert Krass. Should be able to knock this out. Krass's books read so fast for me. He's just a really good thriller writer. And so I just pound through them because they're so engaging. And so those, one Western, one thriller, and then, bouncing back and forth in the classics. I may throw in a mood pick if I get time, but obviously I'm also going to have some Saturday shorts. Yeah, I'm kind of missing Conan and Sherlock a little bit. I'm going to tell you that. I know you guys are used to me doing some episodical reviews. I'm kind of missing those guys, and so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm trying to keep my video count down, and so that's one thing. You probably also have realized I'm not doing tags recently, and I've got 7 I've been tagged in that I've started, getting the prompts and everything together and some of my answers. I've got 7 tags I'm behind on, and so I'm going to have to figure that out as well. It's one of those things where I don't want to get back into doing 10 videos a week, and so I'm trying to do some stuff that I want to do, trying to do some stuff, tags and some other things, and it's keeping up with book reviews, and it's just, as I'm reading more, then I've got more to review, and it becomes like you got to pick your battles. But I do have a lot of tags. So if you've tagged me in something and you're like, hey, he hasn't done my tags, why isn't he doing tags? The king of tags. Yeah, I've taken a step back from him. I do have them on a list. So yeah, Becky, Bob, Pat, Brian, there's Elaine. There's several of you that have tagged me in things, and they're on a list. I'm not going to forget about them. But I will get to them eventually and figure out how to make those work. In terms of upcoming videos, if you haven't, I've been pounding you all week about this evening at 6 p.m. Central on my channel. I will be live. It's a chance to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. I figured I would do it kind of in a roast kind of thing. So I have a couple topics that I'm going to kick the video off with talking about, let people get in there, and then they can ask me questions or make fun of me. And we'll go through that, and hopefully I'll have some tissues beside me and I won't cry too much. But in terms of upcoming videos, there's going to be some another book haul. Tess and I did a lot of shopping this past weekend, and we found a ton of deals, had a really good time. So we did a joint book haul video. That's going to be coming this week. Saturday Shorts, part 2 of the library tour is coming this week. Definitely want to check out the rest of the library here. And my book review of Emperor of Rome is coming out this week. And Bob, if you see this, I did my best. It's just reviewing nonfiction is just difficult for me, and I did my best. I really am glad that I read Emperor of Rome and I got it behind me. It was a really good book, and so definitely be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a busy week. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the live stream. Those are always fun. I may have bit off more than I can chew, but we'll see. But that's my weekly wrap up. Hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and maybe I will see you this evening, hopefully. Talk to you all later. Thanks.